Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. We are doing lesson 3. Little girls are wiser. In today's class, we'll do grammar and vocabulary. This is a quick recap of the parts of speech, children. You have already learnt about the 8 parts of speech. So the first one is nouns. If you recollect, what are nouns, children? Nouns are the names of people, places, animals and things. Whatever has a noun in the world, whatever has a name in the world, that is called as noun. For example, look at this cute baby. So it's a girl. Girl is the name of a person. And here you have Taj Mahal. It's the name of a place. Beautiful place. And then peacock, a beautiful animal. And balloons, beautiful things. So whatever names we have, girl, Taj Mahal, peacock, balloons, all the names are called as nouns. This is another kind of parts of speech. What is it? Verbs. So let us revise and recap what are verbs. Now if you look at the first picture, the boy is writing something. So he is doing some action or some work. And next picture, the girl is eating. The next picture, she is throwing the ball. And the next picture, the girl is giving a gift to her friend. Now all these pictures show some kind of action or work being done. Yes, writing, eating, throwing the ball, giving a gift. All these are different kinds of works or actions we do. So all the works or actions are called as verbs. So based on nouns and verbs, children, we have a concept called subject, verb, object. So every sentence, children, a complete sentence has 3 parts in it. Subject, verb and object. We'll see what is the subject, verb and object. Now here is the sentence, I cleaned the car. This is a sentence. I cleaned the car. So who cleaned the car? I. So who or what refers to subject. Now cleaned. What is clean, children? Cleaning is an action. It's a verb. So all the action words are called as verbs. So I is the one who is doing the work. That is called subject. Clean is an action or a work. That's called verb. The car. So what did I clean? The car. What was cleaned? The car. So the car is object. So the one who is doing the action, that is I, that is called subject. And the one who is receiving the action, that is the car, that is called object. Let us look at few more examples, children. The boy hit the ball. Who hit the ball? Boy. So that forms subject. And hitting something is an action or a work. That is a verb. And what did the boy hit? The ball. So ball is receiving the hit. Ball is taking the hit. So whatever is receiving it, that is called as object. Whatever is giving or doing, that is called subject. So that's what is written here, children. Doer. Whatever does the action, that is called subject. And that action or work is called verb. And whatever receives the action or takes the action, that is called object. Am I clear, children? Few more examples are here. Sue eats fish. Now who eats fish? Who is eating? Who is doing? Sue. So Sue is subject. Now what is she doing? Eating. Eating is an action or a work. That is a verb. And what is she eating? Fish. So fish is the object. So Sue eats fish. Similarly, Gil plays tennis. Who is doing the action? Gil. So the doer is called subject. And who is receiving the action? Tennis. That is object. And what is Gil doing? Playing. Playing is an action. That's a verb. Fred drives the car. Who is driving? Fred. So Fred is the subject. And what is being driven? Who is taking the driving action? Car is taking the driving action. So car is the object. And what is drive? It's an action. That is a verb. Are you clear, children? Every complete sentence has three parts in it. Subject, verb, object. Subject is the one which does the action. Verb is the action itself, any action or any work. And object is the one which takes the action or receives the action. Now based on nouns, verbs, subject, verb and object, we have a grammar of lesson 3, children. Let us read these sentences first. Akulya loves her pet goldfish. Malasha likes the festival of Easter. Now here, children, the colored words Akulya, Malasha, goldfish and Easter. What are these? These are names. Akulya and Malasha are the names of girls. Goldfish is a kind of fish. Easter is the name of a festival. So all these are names. So what are names called as? Nouns. So these 4 words are nouns. Now let us look at the functions of nouns. What do you mean by function, children? Function means use. So what is the use of nouns? So nouns sometimes form subject of a sentence and sometimes form object of a sentence. We have already seen. Let us look at this example. Rabia went to meet her grandmother. Now children, if I have to identify whether it's a subject or an object, how will I identify? Subject is the doer of the action. Who does the action? That is called subject. Object is the receiver of the action. Who takes the action? That is object. Now, Rabia went to meet her grandmother. Who went? Rabia. Who is doing the action? Rabia. So, Rabia is the subject, children. Did you understand? Here, subject tells who or what about the verb. Okay. A noun acts as the object. So, noun can be subject and it can be object also. Let us look at the example. Meera threw the frisbee to Amisha. Now, who threw it? Meera. That means who has done the action? Meera. So, who does the action? That is called as subject. So, Meera is the subject. Where is the object? Let us question. She threw what? She threw what? She threw the frisbee. So, frisbee is the object, children. It is in colored form. Can you see? The direct object answers what or who after the verb. So, verb is an action word. Here, threw. Throwing something is an action word. After throw, if we question, what did she throw? That is frisbee. That is the object. Now, based on this, our exercise A bit is, look at the underlined nouns in these sentences. Write whether they act as the subject of the verb or as the object of the verb. Now, each sentence has got an underlined word, children. You have to identify whether the word is the subject or the object. The first one is already done as an example. Preeti drew a picture in her book. Now let us question, children. When we ask a question, then we'll clearly understand whether it's a subject or an object. Now, Preeti drew a picture in her book. Who drew picture? Preeti. That means who did the action? Preeti. So, whoever does the action, that is called as subject. So we already got a subject here. Preeti is the subject. Now what is the underlined word? Picture. So what did she draw? Picture. So picture is the object, children. Did you understand? So the noun picture acts as the object. Let us look at the second sentence. Sumaya is the head girl of this school. That's underlined. Sumaya word is underlined. Let us question. Who is the head girl? Sumaya. So who is the doer of the action? Sumaya. So doer of the action is called as subject. So on the top of the word you have to write subject. Ladakh is a beautiful place. Ladakh is the underlined word, children. So let us question. What is a beautiful place? Ladakh. So this Ladakh is subject. Ravi gave the book to Vineet. Book is the underlined word. Now who gave the book? Ravi gave the book. Who is doing the action? Ravi is doing the action. That means Ravi is the subject. Now what is book then? He gave what? What did he give? Book. So book is the object, children. Next, the teapot is on the table. The teapot is on the table. Let us question. What is on the table? Teapot. So what is the here? Teapot is the subject. John ate cornflakes for breakfast. John ate cornflakes for breakfast. Now who ate? John ate. So John is the doer of the action. He is doing the action. So John is subject. Then what did he eat? Cornflakes. So what he ate is cornflakes. That becomes the object. Now in the next page, children, that is page number 25, you have to make the sentences for the nouns. Look at the examples and write one sentence for each of the noun functions written below. So noun functions as a subject and also as an object. So we have to write a sentence exempling noun as a subject and another sentence where we are showing noun as an object. First one, children, noun acts as the subject. You have to make a sentence where your noun is the subject. They have already given here. The school will remain closed on Monday. Now what will remain closed? School. That is the subject. So we got the name noun as subject. So another sentence can be made based on it is, my teacher is teaching English. Who is teaching? My teacher. So teacher is teaching. Who is doing the action? Teacher is doing. So that is subject. We got the noun in subject position. Second one, noun acts as the object. Now you have to make a sentence where your noun becomes your object. Example is given. Geet likes eating chocolate cake. Now Geet is the subject because who is doing the action? Geet is doing the action. Geet is the subject. What does she like to do? She likes to eat. Eat what? Chocolate cake. So chocolate cake is the object. Here we got noun as the object. Similarly, another sentence is made. Malasha wore new dress. Now who wore? Malasha. That means Malasha is the subject. What did she wear? New dress. So dress is the object. Did you understand how to make sentence, children? This is vocabulary part, children. Its continuation in page number 25. Let us read these sentences first. Akulya and Malasha were dressed beautifully. Akulya's grandmother is sitting comfortably on the sofa. In Russia, people merrily celebrate the festival of Easter. Now, if you look at these colored words, children, dressed beautifully, sitting comfortably, merrily celebrate. So, we have such kinds of words which match with each other. The words in color usually go together. We do not say dress darkly, sitting easily, or sadly celebrate. However, we may say dress neatly, sitting uncomfortably, or happily celebrate. So these are the combinations of words, children. Some words are combined to give a proper sense to them, which have to be in proper combination. We cannot change the combination. As the example suggests, you can say dress beautifully, but you cannot say dress darkly, right? You can say sitting comfortably, but you cannot say sitting easily. So that is the proper matching of the words, children. Based on this, we have a vocabulary exercises. Let us look at them. Choose the correct answer. Now first one is already done for you as an example. Raj trusts Divya completely. So for trust, the word which goes with it is completely. So if we try to say Raj trusts Divya absolutely, Raj trusts Divya clearly, doesn't go with it. It doesn't match properly. So trust completely. These are the words which go together. If clearly word has to be used, we can say sees clearly. Sight and clarity can be matched. Next, did you cook this dish? It is absolutely delicious. You cannot say beautifully delicious. You cannot say fully delicious. What is the appropriate word for delicious among this choice? Absolutely delicious. Disha and Reina are going to the exhibition and they are perfectly dressed for the event. The answer is perfectly dressed. So how was the dressing? Perfect. You cannot say completely dressed. You cannot say exactly dressed. You have to say perfectly dressed. That is the appropriate match for the words. The play will begin soon. Please whisper softly. Whisper is something you say in a very low tone so that the other person whom you do not want them to listen, they will not be able to listen. So when you talk very slowly, you say it whisper softly. Right? We will take the highway now. Your seat belts should be fastened tightly. Fasten your seat belts. You heard, right? You cannot say fasten loosely. You cannot say fasten clearly. You have to say fasten tightly. Your new spectacles are here. Now can you see clearly? So when it is compared with seeing something, it is clearly. You cannot ask, can you see darkly? Can you see happily? It is see clearly. This is how words go together, children. Now this is in page number 26. Children, match the words to their correct meanings. Admire, to think highly of something. That means when you want to praise something, when you are totally in love with that thing, that is called admiring. Admiring someone's new dress, admiring the color of the beautiful car, that is admiring. Weep, to cry. We have already seen in our story, Malasha wept, that is to cry. Quarrel, fight and argue. Ashamed, feeling uncomfortable after doing something foolish or wrong. Whenever we do a mistake, after some time we start feeling bad for it. I should not have done that. I'm feeling sorry for that. That feeling is called ashamed. Valuable, something which is useful and worth a lot. Your favorite sports cars or your favorite toys or your favorite collections, all those are valuable for you, right? That is called valuable, which is very important for you and useful. Forgive, not be angry with someone anymore. You already know how did Akulya forgive Malasha and they were friends again immediately. Forgiving is not remembering someone's mistakes and being friend with them always. That is forgive.